enough sound. So they missed the opening joke. They missed the introduction. And Gremlins. It's not really Gremlins. All of that was because I was set up for the morning show, and then I went, oh, hey, it's the evening show. Flipped over to the evening show, and all the settings were wrong. So when you do the morning show 365 days a year, and that's just, I mean, I come in here, I'm going to turn the show, I'm going to get the show, I'm going to get the show. It's just muscle. So that's where I was today. Anyway. Why can't you? Oh, because the wrong button. How about now? Give it a minute. There's a lag. Don't come at me and say, no, I can't hear you, because there's a lag. So wait for the lag to catch up and then tell me how you hear me. Is that better? Hello?
I'm waiting.
What are you waiting for? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were set up for the morning show by muscle memory. Anyway, I'm on the spot. I should have written it down. Whiskey. Was it Whiskey Creek or was it Hawaiian Hillbilly? Ivy, I'm trying to remember who it was that does the trains that had done the spheres that we were looking at the other day. That he had done such a great job on the spheres. Help me out. Whiskey Creek Farms. It was Whiskey Creek Farms, wasn't it? Oh, hey, Whiskey Creek's here. Hey, Whiskey Creek. Were you the one with the spheres, the purple spheres, the other day? That makes it even better because I can just ask you. I can just involve you. I have the memory of a goldfish swimming around in a bowl. Oh, look, I've never been here before. What's this? Oh, it's a castle. But I was really impressed with how I saw the story of how long you had been drawing those, and how you had if it was you, I haven't. Hawaiian Hillbilly. I'm sorry, it wasn't Whiskey. It was Hawaiian Hillbilly. I saw the story about how Hawaiian Hillbilly had been drawing those and hadn't been drawing them for very long, about a month I think it was, and went from a very flat circle to a very rich sphere.
We have Balamutsky.
Hi, Balamutsky. Santa Claus. Yeah, you can call me Santa Claus if you want to. A lot of people call me Santa Claus. One of my favorite stories, I was walking through a grocery store at Christmas time, and this little girl, she couldn't have been 3, she was just losing her mind. And her mother didn't see me. I was on the end and kind of on the other side of the aisle. Her mother didn't see me. And her mother, this little girl was just losing her mind, wanting, I don't know, some kind of sweet treat that her mother wouldn't let her have. And she says, I can't believe you would act that way. You know Santa's watching. And about that time, I stepped around the corner and I looked at her and went, and I stepped right back around the corner and darted off. And I don't think her mother ever saw me, but that little girl was like, I'm sorry, Mama, I'll be good. I mean it, I promise. It was precious. So yeah, Balamutsky, you can call me Santa if you want to. And I've got the Christmas music going, so there's that. Anyway, Hawaiian Hillbilly drew some spheres and did a really, really good job with it. And it reminded me of another challenge that I had done years ago of water drops. And so I thought I would try to do some water drops tonight. I've got this ready, but you know what? I'm not ready to move to this because, quite honestly, it has been a minute since I've actually done a water drop. I actually tried one this morning while I was chatting with my mom. After the show ends, I get a few minutes to chat with my mom. And while I was chatting with her, I actually tried one, and I felt like I needed some more practice. So I haven't got any practice. So I thought I would first try to do a few, and then move into the painting, just to get that muscle memory going again. Whiskey Creek does trains. That's right. That's Luke. He sent me some trains. Hey, we need to start the cameras rotating, don't we?
Yes, buddy, go.
Hey, Swallow Ewo. So, anyway, I thought I would knock out just a couple of drops just to get a little muscle memory going, to see if I could get it. I did a big painting of these things years ago, and I did a mini, and I thought the mini looked really nice, and the painting looked okay, but the painting looks more like a practice exercise. But like I said, it has been a minute. So I went out and bought some actual frisket, not just wax crayon. I went out and bought some actual PBO drawing gum, masking fluid, frisket. We always call it frisket. You can use rubber cement. Remember my highlights. What I'm starting with right now. If I can find my shampoo. Where's my shampoo bottle? Who's run off with my shampoo bottle? If I figure out who has run off with my shampoo bottle, I swear I bet I can pick it from where I'm sitting. No, really. How did I lose my shampoo bottle?
You either need to turn the music down here or turn your voice up here.
And there's just no pleasing me. My problem is I'm losing my voice. But you can't hear. Can everybody hear the music?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I need to find my shampoo. I put shampoo with conditioner in my water so that my brushes will stay conditioned. But where did it go? How could it? The real question is how could it have gone anywhere? Because nothing ever leaves this studio. I have a big pile of stuff behind me to prove it. Yeah, right. If it had been a snake, it would have bit me. Okay. If it had been a snake, it would have bit me. So we're going to start off with just a little bit of shampoo in my water so that it'll help rinse my brushes and condition my brushes at the same time. Put a little soap on my bristles here. This brush is a waste brush. It doesn't really matter. It's got acrylic dried in it. It doesn't really matter what happens to it. But you put a little soap. You put a little soap in the bristles, but you don't rinse it off. And that way, you just dry it off with a towel. And that way, the frisket doesn't quite stick to your brushes. You can rinse it. It'll rinse off your brushes easier. So, like I said, it's been a minute since I've done this, so bear with me. I like this because it looks like smiley faces. I like to hide smiley faces in my art. If you watch, like if you go back and you look at the sunflower in particular, you should notice the smiley faces in there. And then I can use this brush to also stir in the shampoo and conditioner into my rinse water. Like I said, it helps me rinse my brushes easier. It helps keep my brushes fresh and soft.
56. That's the best brushing tip of the day.
It's a pretty good tip, and I'm not sure where I learned it. I think I may have learned it from Pamela about putting soap in your brushes before you dip them in the Crisco. I may have learned that from Pamela. If I didn't learn it from Pamela, I at least learned it from our mutual friend that I never can think of her name because I don't see her often enough. And like I said, I have the mind of a goldfish. I have to dry that before we go any further. I have to dry that. So we're going to have a lot of dancing tonight. There's just really nothing quite like paint drying to make newcomers to the show get enthusiastic about staying and watching a whole 2-hour episode. They were all like, they're all like, well, I was just gonna show up for a minute and then bail, but then once he started paint drying, man, I just couldn't resist staying the full 2 hours. There's just something hypnotic about the way he dries paint. It has been, did I tell you it has been a minute since I've done this? I may not have mentioned that I might be just a touch rusty, but if I am, don't hold it against me. Just bear with me. I don't promise that it'll get better, but I'm going to have fun doing it anyway. The whole premise of this show is to give permission to people to try. Don't worry about the results, and don't let a pesky thing like results and failures stop you from having fun trying. That is the whole premise of this program, is to have a good time trying. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good week. If you're not part of the every morning crowd, and we haven't had a chance to visit since last Thursday, I hope you had a good week.
I'd love to know where the week disappeared to.
Isn't that the truth? How they just fly by, you're just one day it's Sunday and you're eating your apple fritter wondering how you're going to worrying about it being Monday, and the next thing you know it's Thursday. you're already thinking about the weekend, and then before you know it, it's Monday again, and you're like, what the hell happened? This is Thursday. This is Thursday. We can use the occasional curse word.
Ivy says she almost made it this morning.
What were you going to say? Have a what?
Have you ever been to one of the Texas thrift stores?
The Texas thrift stores, or the art thrift store. I saw you sent me that on that message. My mother sent me a link to an art supply thrift store.
But that one's in Austin. APG said there's like one or two in Houston.
Well, I'm going to have to get with Jamie and see where they are.
She gave me the name of one, but I can't find where she's mentioned on Instagram, and you know I'm not well versed in that.
Right. Ivy says she logged in, clicked like, and fell asleep before she could even say hi. Well, it still counted you, so that's lovely. Let me try this now. Hey, Whiskey Creek, maybe you can help me with something. I bought, also inspired by you, I bought some new tubes for the morning show, a new set of tubes for the morning show, and it's a train set. And it's got two different, all of these cars have their own purpose, and they all have their own story on how they came about. Everything in the tube set has its own purpose and its own story about how it came about. But it has two different cars, and they're just simply labeled cargo cars. And I'm like, what's the difference between them, and why do they need two different types of cars? And if you know, give me a shout and tell me something different about the two cars. There's one big one, looks like it's got the side doors, looks like you'd load automobiles or something in, and the other one has these round vents on the top. I don't know if you can see or not. Has these little round vents on the top, and it's about, I don't know, a third of the size. But if you know what the difference is, and the specific name and stuff about them, because I know you're into trains, and all this says is they both just say cargo car. But if you know, give me a shout and let me know what those are, so that I can sort them out. Because when I draw them, I won't draw them both at the same time. I'll draw, it'll be, one or the other, and then I'll have to have a story about why that's the thing. Okay. Do.
They're little.
They're not any smaller than any of the other tubes that I draw every morning. Of course, the frog that I'm drawing tomorrow morning is not a tube; it's a Toymani. It's really big. I'm gonna mix up a little Payne's gray here. I like to make my Payne's gray with Prussian blue, cobalt blue, and a touch of vermilion. That is way too much vermilion. I said touch of vermilion. I didn't say touched by vermilion. touched all right. All right, so let's see if we can remember how to do this. Because like I said, so I'm going to start with a shadow around the water drop. We're going to pretend the light's coming from this way because that's where the highlights are. We're going to pretend the light's coming from this way. And we're going to put the shadow right around the bottom. Can't talk, Harding. I haven't done it in a long time. And it just seemed like after seeing Hawaiian Hillbillies efforts, it just seemed like something that would be fun to do. So I just felt like I had to give it a shot. What, Mom?
Okay, the first one is a box car used for hauling packages. The second one is a hopper car used for hauling grain.
So why would they call it that and not? Because there's this one too. There's this one too with the granary dumps on the bottom. And this one's not labeled. I think this is a dump car. I think they call this one a dump car. It's not labeled though. There's a fuel car, there's a coal car, there's an engine. I figured it had to be grain because it had the holes on the top and not doors on the side. I figured it had to be grain or something like that. Well, that's hard to see because the glare is just right there. I need that to go all the way up to the edge of the white. It has been, I can't stress enough that it has been a minute. I'm sitting here stressing about it like I'm not having a good time. Like I'm worried that you won't be entertained because I care. I care that you're entertained, but I cannot tell you how important it is to me that you understand this is about having fun with the creative process. And if I make a mistake in front of everybody, it gives everybody the chance to say, well, if Blade can bleed on camera, then it's all right for me to bleed on camera. All right. One more time with the hairdryer. I say one more time, like we're not going to do it again. Like, oh, that's the last time we're going to hair dry tonight. No, it's going to happen again, I promise you. It's going to happen a bunch, mainly because Ivy's here and she likes the hair drying. If Claudia happens to stay up late, she likes the dancing. that darker. She likes to dance.
Ivy says she always worries too much about results, but she wants folks to have a nice time too.
Yeah, I want everybody to have a good time. But I have to emphasize again, you know, the whole point of the show is to give people permission. If I worry about it looking too good, or if I spend too much time not worrying about making mistakes, then that tells everybody else, hey, we have to worry about making mistakes. That I worry about mistakes more than I worry about getting people to be creative. And I'm going to tell you right now, my whole mission in life is to make people want to be creative. Is to make people understand that creativity needs expression. All right. Now, let me hair dry it one more time, and then we'll take the brisket off and see how it turned out. It was especially fun when we had Subliminal Baby, because when we had Subliminal Baby, I can make really bad art, and I know people watching would be like, "Man, this guy's bad. Why? What makes this guy think he should have a YouTube channel? Holy goodness, he's bad at this. Oh look, there's a baby. Look at that baby. Come look at this baby. Let's watch this video again so I can show you this baby. He's the cutest little baby." People would show up for Subliminal Baby and not even say mean things about the art. That was especially handy back then. So the trick is, let the camera come back around. So the trick is, when the light shines through the water drop, you can still see the color through the other side of the water drop. Whoa, let's get on camera. You can still see the color on the other side through the other side of the water drop.
There's Pamela and Gaming with Joe.
Hi, Joe. I did. What did you use Frisket? Yes, I used Frisket. I sure enough did. But the water drops are like little magnifying lenses, and they'll still show the color through, but you'll have a highlight at the bottom where the light coming through the top will reflect against the bottom water back up into the bubble, back up into the water drop. But then the whole thing will cast a shadow underneath it. And the top of it will have a reflection where the light is bouncing off the tension on the surface of the water. But it'll also reflect this shadow back up on the inside. So you've got, when you're doing a sphere, you know, you've got your highlight, and then you've got your form you've got your form shadow, and then you've got your cast shadow, and then you've got your reflected light. So you've got all those things you have to deal with. When you do a water drop, you've got or a bubble, if you will. It's the same thing. You have all of that stuff and the stuff that's reflected back on the inside. So that's why water drops work like that. So like I said, it's been a minute since I've done one. So I thought I'd do a few practice ones before we actually got to the do a few practice ones before we got to the actual painting tonight. Pamela, are you the one that gave me the tip? When I started off with the Frisca, I used the tip of putting a little soap in the hairs of the brush, and then just using a paper towel. Don't rinse it off, just leave the soap on there, so if the Frisca doesn't stick to the brush. Are you the one that gave me that tip? It seems like it was you. I credited you. Take the blame. I gave you credit for it, whether it was you or not.
Joe's wife said hi.
Hey, Joe's wife. There she is. Yes, it was her. I knew it was her. I knew it was you. I say take the credit for it, because I think it was you, and that's all that matters. Ooh. About hung up on my mom. Can't be hanging up on my mom. I'm trying to turn my... No, I said I about hung up on you. She says, we learned that in our watercolor class in college. See, I didn't take any classes in college like that. All of my classes in college were stupid botany classes. And I hated botany. I may have never told you how much I hated botany, but I hated botany. I didn't like botany. I didn't like botany because it was like, here's an explanation for the beauty. And I don't need an explanation for the beauty. This isn't just beauty. This actually has this function. No, it's just pretty. Leave me alone. I'm okay with it just being pretty. But pretty has its functions too, right? So I shouldn't have hated botany. I liked Dr. McGrath. Dr. McGrath was a very dear friend. He passed away a few years ago. He was a very dear friend. I met him in high school. I don't think he was the biology chair, but he was the chair of the, that's not the word. What do you call the person, the sponsor, the sponsor of the Biological and Associated Sciences Club of the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. And I was very heavily involved with the biology club in my high school. And we had him come give a presentation on prions, which are basically just self-replicating proteins. And they're considered one of the very first basic blocks of life in the biology realms. And they're also considered a source for Alzheimer's disease. and he was mentioning the fact that they cause problems with evolutionary theory because they are just self-replicating proteins. There's no room for the remixing of genetic material. This is going to get technical, but I promise it's almost over. It went back and forth for a few minutes, and I finally pointed out to him that variations happen, and that sometimes local radiation can cause genetic material to flip, and we can demonstrate that in the lab. We went back and forth, and you've got to remember, I was 14, he was 60 something, and we're having a serious conversation about biology because I was an eighth grader. I was a ninth grader in the biology class, and I wasn't supposed to be. Biology was for the higher grades, but I was in the advanced classes, and so I was 14 talking to a PhD instructor on his level, and the whole rest of the class is just sitting there going, "Oh God, here he goes again." But he and I became very fast friends because we both were fascinated by the ideas of theoretical biology. But his calling was botany, and he would go to great lengths talking about, as I just did with prions, he would go to great lengths talking about why flowers flowered the way they did, and extinct bugs that no longer, and how the flowers have to, and it was interesting stuff, but I seriously, I wanted more to do with the prions. I wanted to talk more about prions. What are we talking about? Have we done easels yet? No, we haven't done easels yet. What college is that? The University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma is in Chickasha, Oklahoma. It used to be, it started life out as the Oklahoma Women's College, Oklahoma College for Women, OCW. And my grandmother was one of the, did she graduate from OCW? Or did she teach home economics at OCW? Or both?
She graduated. She graduated from USAO, and then she went to Mogi Tech.
Yeah.
And graduated from there and worked there.
But did she graduate from USAO or did she graduate from OCW?
It was OCW when she graduated.
It was OCW when she graduated. Now, let me tell you the beauty of the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. The University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma started life out as a women's college, the Oklahoma College for Women in Chickasha, Oklahoma. And there are, in the 70s, it changed to the University of Biological Sciences or something like that. I don't remember what, but it eventually settled on the name the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. It is a liberal arts college that is publicly funded. It is a state college, publicly funded state college, and it is the only publicly funded state liberal arts college, I think, in the nation. And here's the beauty of it. There are recruiters, because it started off life as OCW, there are recruiters in the world, there are college counselors in the world who only think of it as a women's college. And so the population of the college is about 70% female. And when you are a young heterosexual male, that, forgive my crassness, that is a target-rich environment. And when I was free to go target shooting, if you will, I lucked out and met my wife right off the bat, and didn't even really get to get the whole college experience. I never even made it to any of the really wild parties, which is probably a good thing. But my wife ended up at that college because when her dad was in the Navy, and when they moved back to Oklahoma, he retired from the Navy and they moved back to Oklahoma, and she was ready to go to college. He said, well, there's a girls' college in Chickasha. Let me take you down there. And signed her up. So that is how I met your mother. I mean, that is how I met my beautiful young bride. We actually didn't meet on campus. We actually met online in a chat group. Much like the chat that you guys are in right now, watching the program. Anyway, that is where I went to school. That is where I met Dr. McGrath. Well, actually, I met Dr. McGrath in high school, but that is where I was friends with Dr. McGrath, who was trying to teach me botany.
OCLA? What's OCLA? You didn't graduate from
The Oklahoma College of Liberal Arts, yeah. Yeah, the Oklahoma College of Liberal Arts was what it was in the 70s.
Was it USAO when you graduated?
OCLA was what it was in the 70s before it became the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. That was the one I couldn't remember. Who graduated from OCLA?
Your dad. I didn't know.
No, Dad didn't graduate. My dad didn't graduate from OCLA.
He just said he did.
Dad graduated from USAO.
But he said he graduated from OCLA.
He went to Rose State, and he went to USAO. It was already USAO by the time he was there.
I think so too. But you know, I've learned in all these years not to argue with you because he's usually right.
I'll argue with him.
All right, you have at it.
I'm not afraid. Yeah, see? Dad graduated from USAO.
Ivy did. She attended a religious college, and there were no wild parties unless you count the men's panic when you forgot it was room inspection day.
All right, let's figure out how we want to do this. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to soap my bristles up again. I'm just going to I've got a little shampoo and conditioner here. If you missed the first part of the show, I like to put shampoo and conditioner in my rinse water, just a couple of drops in my rinse water. So I'm just soaping up my bristles, and then I'm going to wipe the excess soap off. But that's just to keep the frisket from sticking to the brush, becoming a permanent part of the brush. I'm not so worried about this brush anyway. This brush, like I said, this brush has acrylic dried in it, so I'm not too terribly worried about this brush. Let's see. Do I want to draw this the way the lights? I've reoriented the picture. I'm going to reorient the light. It's my painting.
You can do what you want.
That's right. I do what I want.
Nobody's messing with you.
I do what I want. It's my painting. But I'm changing brushes because these bubbles are smaller than the bubbles I started with, so I have to change brushes anyway. So I have been staying up. I don't know if you noticed, but I've got a whole lot of new videos up. I've been kind of lacking on getting my 2 and 3 minute time-lapse videos up, and now I'm caught up, almost completely caught up. But I've been staying up until midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and that is hard on an old person. And it's especially hard on an old person that gets up at 4:30 and 5 o'clock every day and does a YouTube show. And so I've had to find creative ways to get caught up on my rest.
Joe says he's be back later. He has to go meal prep for the weekend before the storms hit.
You know how I
Yes,
meal prep, Joe? I buy a pizza and I put 2 slices of pizza in a baggie, and that's one meal, and I just keep doing that until I'm out of pizza. Anyway, we'll see in a little bit, Joe. Be careful in the storms. So I've had to get creative on how I can get caught up on my rest, and I've started doing the thing where at lunchtime I go outside and take a nap. And when my car is there, that's cool. But when I'm in a motorcycle, I have to do something else. And I bought one of these. You may have seen it. You take it. It's like a windsock. You just take it and you hold it up in the wind, and the wind fills it with air, and then you roll up the end and snap it off, and you have like a couch, like a bed. And I can't tell you how many of my coworkers come up to me after and said, "Show me how that works. Where did you get that?" And I can just see I've started a trend. I can just see, because they all go out and sleep in their cars too. But I can just see how it may have started a trend. We're gonna have nap time. Everybody get your little mattress out. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna drink my little milk and have my cookie and blow and lay my mattress out.
Oh my Lord.
Does anybody else take naps at lunch? I know you guys do. You.
That's what we call afternoon.
I know.
If I sit down in my chair, I'm gone.
That's one of the best things about Sunday lunch at your house is me going over to your chair and just knocking out. My wife gets on to me, "You should visit with your mom." And I said, "Why?" "We visited at dinner.
Besides, we visit every morning.
It's nap time."
And there's nothing that makes me feel, well, there are things, but it makes me feel really good for you to go and just sit down and relax and take a nap. It's comforting to me.
That's what my grandpa used to say too.
If you're comfortable enough to just come in and take a nap, that's just a great, great, great compliment.
Got all these little smiley faces on here. I love it. All right.
He says he didn't go to college, didn't even finish high school.
That's okay. I didn't take art in college. I have a degree in biology. I do data entry during the day. I don't do anything biology related. While that frisket dries, I'm going to work on the background a little bit. going to wet the paper. What religious college did you go to, Ivy? What religion? We don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. My wife's Catholic. I tease her incessantly. Because nothing about the way she lives or acts would let you know that she's Catholic. But I do like to throw it in her face. I'm your husband. I said so. You have to do what I said. You're Catholic. Knowing full well the response that is going to get me. No surprises whatsoever about how that is going to play out. When I say it. Can't talk. Arting.
Grandma says she got a BS in psychology.
In what?
Psychology.
Psychology?
And Ivy went to religious school, but she says she does not wish to discuss religion.
I understand. I'm not really trying to get you to discuss religion. We tried to avoid religion and politics, which is sad because religion and politics are my two favorite things in the whole world to talk about. But I understand that a lot of people get very emotional when we talk about religion and politics. So the three things you're never supposed to talk about at work: religion, politics, and sex. The three things I most want to talk about at work.
Ivy has a BS in communication arts. It means she can speak the best BS ever.
Right? I turned a paper in one time, and I got a B on it, and I was really mad. And I whined about it to my wife. This was some quality BS. I really should have got a better grade, at least a high B, not just a standard B. And she said, "Well, did you read the material?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Did you study it all?" And I said, "No." And so she says, "You didn't study, you didn't read the material, you just off the cuff wrote a paper and got a B on it, and you're mad." And I said, "Yes, because it's quality BS. Come on now." I know quality BS when I see it. And this is it. To give you a full example of what my college life was like, I made straight A's in genetics. I made straight A's in physiology. I made straight A's in botany. Well, no, I didn't make straight A's in botany. I made B's in botany. I made straight A's in anatomy, chemistry, not chemistry. I did pretty good in chemistry, but not straight A's. But all of the core biology classes, evolution, endocrinology, all of the core biology classes, straight A's. But I failed freshman orientation 3 times.
Sorry. Oh, it's such.
Oh no, it's terribly funny. I laugh about it. I tell it with the intent to drive the point home. I failed. I made straight A's in all of the core classes, in all the hard classes, in all the classes that I actually had to crack a book on and pay attention. I made straight A's. But the stuff where you basically just had to show up is the stuff that tripped me up.
Emma says she also has a BS in fine arts.
See, I do not have any kind of formal fine art training. I started painting when I was a kid. My parents got me a watercolor kit. I started painting when I was a kid, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I loved it. I started sketching at a very young age. And again, no idea what I was doing, but I loved it. And I did the typical thing where the kids tell you you're not very good, and so I quit trying and I put it away. And then I was in my 30s before I picked it back up. That's why I'm so adamant. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. You get your watercolors out and make a mess. You get your crayons and your pencils and you just get out there and make a mess and have a good time doing it. And don't let anybody tell you you can't. Sometimes I think if I could go back, I would have an art degree, but I would not. If I went back, I'd have a computer science degree. Something useful. Not that there's nothing useful about an art degree. That came off completely wrong. Something more useful than a biology degree. You can't do anything with a biology degree. You have to go on with a biology degree. You have to go on and get. You have to go on and get a master's or a PhD. There's no. There's no. No low entry there. I'm just doing this background while the brisket's drying. I'm just kind of feeling my way around how I want it to look. My really good friend Mark Atkins took his biology degree and went on and got his master's degree. And he goes to work sites where they're contaminated by biocontaminants, and he examines the biocontaminants and tells you the hazard on the workforce. And it sounds like so much fun until you realize he's got to gear up for those biohazards every day. And And he's got to stay on top of that biohazard knowledge every day, or he becomes the very thing he fears. I like that background. I have too much paint right there, though. We'll put that back. Maybe a little too much paint right there. We'll put that back. Maybe a little too much paint right there. We'll put that back because we're going to need that green again here in a minute for these leaves. We're going to start.
Also, you just learned a lot of terminology and some history and a little bit of art. Same with psychology.
My wife got her associate's degree in art in Maryland at a community college. And she absolutely loved her community college. Absolutely loved her community college. Brags about it all the time. Absolutely loved her community college. And when she decided she was going to get an art degree and she was going to go to the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, she was ecstatic. Because she wanted to go to OU. She wanted to go to the University of Oklahoma, but I think they looked into it and decided that was a bit pricey. But she wanted to go to OU, and I think her dad talked her out of that. And so that's how she ended up at USAO. And one of the things that she has said ever since was how small the art department was at the University of Arts, Science and Arts of Oklahoma, especially compared to the community college she went to in Maryland. I'm not poo-pooing the art department at USAO, but I will tell you the budget is probably half of what the community college in Maryland had. I'm almost done with this part. We're going to dry it. This is all background stuff. We'll dry it, and then we'll start painting those leaves in, and then we can finish the bubbles. Then we can finish the water drops. All right, let me dry that real quick. Ivy Ivy says she helped write the curriculum for her for her school's program, and even though she helped write the curriculum, some guy slipped in and graduated a semester or two before her because he already had a lot of the other classes out of the way. And so even though she wrote the curriculum, she didn't get to be the first to graduate with the degree. Oh, that must have. I bet you wanted to punch him in the arm.
What year did you start USAO?
So I graduated high school in '89, and I went from high school to basic training in the National Guard. And then I came back from the National Guard in November and started college in January of '90. And then none of that mattered because in the fall of '90 is when the Iraq War broke out. Is that right? Yeah, the fall of '90 is when the Iraq War broke out. And I got mobilized to go to Iraq. And so I was in Iraq. They gave me a day to withdraw from all of my classes, and my college professors were protesters, and they refused to show up to allow us to withdraw from our classes. And so I had one day to withdraw from my classes, and they wouldn't, and I couldn't withdraw without a signature from my professors. And I ended up going to Iraq without officially withdrawing, because again, the professors wouldn't sign the paperwork. I was in Iraq when I got the notification that said I was on academic suspension. Which I thought was quite funny. When I got back, I talked to the veterans advocate and had that stricken. Everything that happened prior to Iraq was stricken from my record. So even though I started college in '90, that's 2 semesters were completely lost. We're completely taken off my record. So I didn't officially start college effectively. I didn't effectively start college until '91, and then I dropped out in '94. And in '96, when I started dating my wife, she said, "Well, that's stupid. You only had a couple of semesters to go. You should come back. And if you do, you'll get to see more of me." And I'm always down to see more of her. So I went back to college and got my degree. And sometimes I'm pretty sure she regrets showing me more of her. But it worked out well for me.
Okay, on the vertical.
Yeah.
We had Create with Becca.
Hey, Create with Becca. I'm streaming also, but wanted to give you a hello. I sent people over to check out your channel. Well, thank you, Create with Becca. And then MRD's 54. I am obedient, and Becca said to come here, so I did.
And over on horizontal.
Yeah.
Is Admiral. He said he's from Becca's channel. Came to say hi and leave a like.
Hey, Adirondack Aaron, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I truly do. truly do. Thank you so much. And Create with Becca, thank you. You're streaming right now? And you took a break from streaming right now to come say hi to me? How cool is that? Thank you so much. I've completely deviated from my reference photo. But I need to dry this, and then I can come back and put the green on the leaves. So talk amongst yourselves while I dance and dry paint. I almost forgot we're trying to draw water drops. We're trying to paint water drops. I almost completely forgot that. Becca seems pretty cool, eh, Marty? And Marty says Becca can be cool sometimes. Becca seems pretty cool. Like I said, I have completely deviated from my reference photo. I'm just having fun now. It's like I forgot that I was doing water drops. But that's okay. They'll come back. We'll get back around to that, I promise. I have to now. I have brisket in the way. So Becca said, Becca's over there arting on her channel, streaming on her channel, and she's like, hey y'all, I want y'all to stop right now and go see the Artistic Biker and just drop him a like and say hi. How flipping cool is that? You know what? Return the favor. I can't really do that. I'm not set up to do that, but return the favor. Y'all go say hi to her. How cool is that? Do. Oh, hey, we had we hit a milestone. We surpassed the 3,000 hour mark on YouTube, which dropped us into the lower tier monetization. But we're not set up for it yet because YouTube still has hoops to jump through. I am waiting for a snail mail letter to verify my physical address.
Create with Becca?
It'll be create with Becca. It'll match her login name. What if we forget the drops? Is it possible we could forget the drops?
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want. It's my painting.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want.
It's my party and I'll cry if I want.
Are you going to do what's on your easel?
I am. I have some trains from Luke. Some more trains, and I have his Revolutionary Army reenactment photos. I don't remember seeing anything from Ivy or
you had something from Pamela? She asked earlier if we had done what's on your easel.
I didn't see anything, but she sent me frogs in Facebook. I didn't see an email, but she sent me frogs in Facebook, so we may go into Facebook and look at her frogs. There's still time to get your easels in because I'm having a pretty good time messing with this. Send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com with easel as the subject line if you would like to participate in what's on your easel. We encourage people to send us what they're working on. If you are drawing, painting, writing poetry, dancing, making love, whatever it is that you're doing, I would like pictures. And I will use your works to inspire others because that's what we're all about. I may not show the pictures, all of the pictures, but I still want to see them.
You know, either I'm missing it or I'm not sure you're changing cameras.
I am not. It's a good thing you said something.
Sometimes I don't catch it when it changes.
We probably haven't been changing cameras since I showed the trains to Whiskey.
Probably not, because you stopped him, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
At least somebody.
Yeah, I change because I go between vertical and horizontal, so I change.
At least we're paying attention. That's the important thing.
I don't like the difference.
All right. Now we have to dry it, and then we can come back and focus on the water drops. I'm not sure that background's dark enough for what I want to do, but I think we're going to live with it. Wash your hands before you do this. I promise whatever you have on your fingers will get rubbed into your paint. You can use an eraser. They actually make a tool to remove a brisket remover tool. I think that's kind of silly. But hey, if it works for you, you do you, boo. I think the tool is just a stick with a little rubber tip on it. A little hard rubber tip. I've seen the tool in the art supply store, but I have never used the tool. Okay. Now then, this is where it gets, as ChatGTP would say, here comes the good part. I may have messed up. I may have removed the highlight briskets too soon. We may need to put those highlight briskets back. Or I'm going to have to be very, very careful. Tell you what, I will try to be very, very careful, and if I can't be very, very careful, then we'll put the highlights back. If I mess up the highlights, I can always come in. I can always come in with acrylic.
Okay, Marty's on the horizontal now.
Is it Marty or Mary?
M-A-R-T-I-E.
I swore I saw somebody call her Mary. Yeah, because it's M-Arty. Like art. The art is capitalized. That's like my dominatrix, my dominartist T-shirt, my dominatrix T-shirts. For people who take control of their art. Surprised we haven't seen Claudia. That's what made me think of the napping thing earlier. I was going to tell you, because it's middle of the night for Claudia in the Netherlands, and when she can't sleep, she shows up. That's what made me start talking about the naps at work, because I was going to talk about Claudia. A smart man would have started this process over here and worked his way this way. A right-handed person, smart, would have started over here and worked his way this way, so he wouldn't have to try to hold his hand up off the page or work upside down. Because now I get to work upside down. I am not a smart man. Chateauloup, I have missed one.
Ivy says, how many times do I say work upper left to lower right?
Ivy, I didn't start with the yellow either. I don't know if you noticed. Did I mention I failed freshman orientation? I'm not good with instructions. Look how much, I know you hear me talk about this every morning. If you're a regular on the morning show, you know how much I love the shading. But look how much just adding that changes that.
Emma says, is this akin to your favorite part?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I know you hear me say it every morning about how much I love the shading. But look at that right now, and look how much that changed that. Just that much. If I didn't do anything else, look how much that lifted that up off the page. If I didn't do anything else to it, look at how that lifted that up off the page. I think I messed up with the highlight. I think I'm going to have to come back, because I should have left the highlight for the frisket on there. I mean, the frisket for the highlight on there. I think I'm just going to come back with acrylic. I think that's going to make it a whole lot easier. We'll give it a shot to try to get around those highlights. but I think we may have.
Ivy says there are approximately 5,000 bubbles on this page, I think.
There's a lot of them. That's right.
Marty says
They.
I'm enthralled.
Just call them they. Till you know.
I'm enthralled. Oh, Ivy meant her merman page.
What are we talking about?
But she was talking about the bubbles.
Oh. She's not talking about this page.
No.
This page seems like it has 20,000 bubbles on it too.
Pamela wants to know if you've ever done the removal way of making the water droplets.
So using a razor blade to pull the highlights out? Is that what you mean? Or taking a wet spot, taking the painting, adding a wet spot, and then using the brush to scrub the wet spot back out to lighten the spot, and then add the highlights and the shadows around that.
He says removal?
Yeah. There's two ways.
Oh, like Sophia?
You can take after you paint the leaves, for instance, after you paint the leaves green, come back and paint a bubble shaped, come back and put a bubble of water, just a regular bubble of water on the paper on top of the green leaf, and then come back with a stiff brush and kind of work the bubble a little bit, and then take a paper towel and lift the color off, and that'll give you the see-through color of the bubbles of the water drop.
Okay.
Or you can paint the water drop, and then you can come back with a razor blade and you can flick out the highlights. I don't like that method. I see a lot of people do it. I've got girls in my studio. That's awesome. Hi. They're getting tea out of the fridge. I'm doing my very best to try to keep my big old head out of the way of the camera.
Do you know said girls?
I'm madly in love with both of them.
Are you?
Yep. Both of them. One of them has almost all of my heart. And the other shares what's left with the rest of the kids. Except for the part that I reserved for the motorcycle. they have this sweet tea that they love that they keep in my refrigerator out in the studio because my refrigerator is colder than their refrigerator. And so they have come out here to get sweet tea.
Pamela says yes, like okay.
Like what? She's
Somebody asked me earlier something like okay, and then Pamela says yes, like okay. B-O-K-E-H. Okay.
oh, bokeh.
Okay.
Is it called bokeh? I always called it bokeh, where you're making like the light spots in the background. We could do that. We can do that with this.
It says, I think it's either way. It's
When-
a K-A-Y at the end.
When you take a photograph, Mom, sometimes you'll see like light reflecting off dust. People say it's because your picture's haunted, but you'll see light reflected off dust, or you'll see reflections of light in the background, like this.
Ivy says, wait, you didn't do what's on your easel.
We're not there
Not
yet.
that I turned anything in.
We're not there yet.
Well, okay.
We're just running along, aren't we?
We are. It's 8:41.
Oh goodness. I probably should have paid attention to that. The important thing about this is remembering where you put all the drops.
You have to concentrate.
And not only that, but I think they dried. I think they dried before I got around to them.
Ivy says, I said, I think he's lost track of time. And Ivy said, apparently me too. I was wondering why I was feeling snacky. We hadn't taken a brownie break.
We're
Why
about
did she get brownies?
we're about done with this.
That's not fair.
What's not fair? Because she has brownies.
He gets brownies.
You know, I've been trying to harass this little girl. You know, I've been trying to get cookies from this little girl for weeks now. And I am starting to think she doesn't care about me having cookies.
So here's what you do.
They
You
sell,
set a bowl on the counter
yeah.
and just put, the flour, the sugar, the butter, all the ingredients in that bowl.
Oh.
And she'll turn them into brownies, into cookies.
I was thinking more along the lines of they sell them at the store.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just buy some Granny Smith apples and put them in a pie plate, and I come home and I have a pie.
And there's a pie.
Yeah.
I like how that.
Pretty cool.
I like how that works.
I'm like Pamela. I like this page a lot. Mark loves this biker dude.
Thank you. All right. Think maybe a little vermilion right through here. To pull that stem off from the background. so. Yeah, I think we'll put some cherry syrup on it and call it done. I think the water drops turned out kind of nice.
Oh, there's Noelle. Hi, Noelle.
Hi, Noelle. We may lose my mother if we run much longer, but I think we'll be okay. It was the practice run that cost us so much time.
But we did do two paintings.
Yeah.
I did two. And Noelle says that she thinks it turned out excellent. Mommy, I think it's just really lovely. Not too bad. Not good in a long time.
Yeah. Thank you. Maybe we'll end on what's on your easel. Maybe we'll take a brownie break and we'll come back. I don't know. Do we have time for one more? It's 8:45.
I probably don't.
Well, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's take a break. We'll take about a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll do what's on your easel at the very least. And then we'll decide then if we've got enough in us to do another illustration. Because honestly, I'm struggling with, if I draw a circle, if I ink the outside of that bubble, I would have to use ink. I would have to just ink the whole bubble. I couldn't just use the colors. I would have to actually ink it. And so I'm struggling with how to do that. Maybe we should do it just so I can have the practice. But let's take about a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back.
Honey.
Yes, my love.
What is this?
That's bra.
Whose bra?
It's my bra.
Put it on.
No, it's my.
No, if it's your bra, put it on.
No, it's my bra.
Wear it. Put it
It's
on.
my bra. Hello and welcome to the Artistic Biker live from Oasis Studios and Gallery, where we broadcast every Thursday night from 6 to 8 Central Time at artisticbiker.com/Ustream. That's the letter U stream. just 7 days, art can make you a man.
Or a woman.
I'm sorry, buddy, but you were made from a Ken doll.
Cookie cutter. No. That squeezes it to make a shape. To make a shape. See? It makes a shape.
Dinosaurs? You got dinosaurs?
There's only one dinosaur. This is a turtle.
What's a turtle? What is that?
A penguin.
Penguin? Oh, that's not a dinosaur. I see it. And then we have, what is this? A flower?
A flower and a square. Dad, can you move this? And you have to trace it over and then like.
Oh, I see. Okay, this goes in here like this.
And then you put this in to squeeze the Play-Doh out.
Oh. So then we could take a big lump of Play-Doh like this.
I can put it a little bit in.
Stick it in there like that.
And then squeeze it out.
Squeeze it out.
And then make a moon.
Like a big blue syringe.
And then you just cut it off. See? And then you just cut it off because you don't want it to stick all over the place. Now I have to cut it.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to be long to mess up your Play-Doh. There you go.
And then you have to be sure and get it out every time.
You have to get that out.
Why?
So it can't be dirty and dry out the Play-Doh.
So it won't be dirty and dry out the coat.
Hey, I need to put
I just want to make
another moon.
Yeah.
I want to make a circle or a star. And you have to squish it so it can go in there, or you can like fold it where there's. When you see hair, you have to fold it so your models can't see it.
I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I. We've got some straightening out to do. And I'm gonna miss you like a child misses that blanket. But I've got to get a move on with my life. It's time to be a big girl now. And big girls don't cry. All right. I hope everybody made it back from getting their brownies. Let's see here. We want to stop the screen rotation. We're going to go to my phone. The screen is going to go black for just a second. Don't panic. Ta-da! Okay. So welcome. Thank you, Marty. Okay, so let's see what we had on our easels. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so starting with Whiskey. Whiskey, are you still around? Whiskey is a member of a Revolutionary War reenactment troupe. I'm not sure which one is him. I can't just scroll through them. I have to open each one individually. But look how fun this looks. If you've ever just thought about going and putting on a real heavy outfit and standing in the sun for hours at a time, just so you can drive the point home of what these people went through. The Revolutionary soldiers, the British soldiers, the redcoats, the Revolutionary soldiers, the blue coats, And then here is, look, you can see the rafters. This is his attic setup. You can see the rafters in his attic, and you can see this is his model train that he's building. This is why we knew he would have train answers. If you have train questions, we knew he would have train answers. More Continental Army and boating. So that's the same picture. 41. Okay, now look at this setup. See how he's going through the rafters with his whole setup there. Look how cool that's got a mountain in the middle. When I saw that, I'm not gonna lie though, when I saw this mountain in the middle of all this stuff, all I could think was, oh, what was that Richard Dreyfuss movie? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. When he's intent on building that mountain, he's infatuated with that mountain, and he makes a mountain out of the mashed potatoes, and he carves and he draws the mountain, and everybody's having visions of the mountain, and it turns out it's Devil's Peak where the aliens are landing. So when I saw this, that's immediately what I thought about was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Gonna build a mountain. Gonna build a mountain in your living room. Gonna build a mountain. These pictures wouldn't load. These two pictures right here wouldn't load. But I got the rest of them. And then, let's see, that was Luke. Oh, nope, we don't need to know about bingo. Then we have Pamela sent us frogs. There's some frogs. There is a frog. She was doing a frog a day. She got bored with it because she started doing there's frogs and toads. There's a frog and toad a day. It looks like a dart frog, blue dart frog. She was doing a frog and a frog or a toad every day, and she got bored with them and she started doing like toad stools. That counts, right? That's toad. Look at her little dart frog there. Oh, backed out of it. Let's see, where were we? Okay, that's 94, 97. Is that one of those Australian green tree frogs? 98. I may have to do a frog a day. This looks like fun. A little gray frog and a hibiscus. Another blue frog. I'm tilting my camera so y'all can see it better, but it's screen captured. You don't have to see the way I hold my phone does not make any difference. There's a heffalump.
That's this month.
She doing heffalumps?
I think so.
Are you doing a heffalump every day, or are you doing different safari animals? And then she sent one more.
That's gorgeous.
This is these are some paintings she's got hanging. Some abstracts that she's done. I think she did them. I don't have any information. I'm assuming that she did them because she sent them to me. I don't really have anything on my easel this week. I didn't do anything exciting that I can think of. The only thing I could show you would be I probably shouldn't share my screen when I do this. Let's change cameras for a minute. Yeah, you don't need to see everything I've taken a picture of over the last couple of weeks. That could be bad. But I will show you last Friday I had an opportunity to sit down at lunch with Ivy while Ivy was broadcasting her show. And you can see here's Ivy's hand coloring. I believe that's my coloring book. She is coloring in my coloring book. She's doing a jellyfish and turtles page out of my coloring book. And while she was doing that, I was doing this. So that's about the only thing I had on my easel. I can show you the coloring book page that she did, because I happen to have a copy of that coloring book right here. This is available on my Amazon page. Just look for Jonathan Manning on Amazon. There's a link in the description of this video. But let's see here if we can find that jellyfish page. There's lots of stuff in here, huh? Blatant advertising. That's what this is. Blatant advertising. So yeah, there's the jellyfish page that she was coloring in. This is the jellyfish I drew on my show. These are abstract clip art type things. But this is the one I drew. That's the whole thing, is I draw a toy. I draw the toy and then I imagine it into a real life setting. So anyway, that's what was on my easel. That's what was on your easel. If you would like to be a part of what's on your easel, simply send an email to blade@artisticbiker.com with easel in the subject line. blade@artisticbiker.com with easel in the subject line. And then I'll use your works to inspire other people, because that's what this is all about. We're not here to show off how well I do watercolors, because I'm learning every day. We're here to give everyone the permission to be creative. I want you to express your creativity. I want you to do the thing, write the book, draw the drawing, paint the painting, dance the dance, sing the song, make the love, whatever it is you do creatively. I want you to do it and express yourself, and I want you to share it with the world. And I especially want you to share it with me. And if you share it with me through blade@artisticbiker.com with the subject line easel, I'll use your works to inspire other people. And that's how we get everybody sharing and inspiring. So that is what we did on What's on Your Easel. Guys, I think we're going to have to call it. It's 9 o'clock. We did manage, I'm going to go the overhead wide. We did manage this one, and then we did this one. This was our practice run. This is why we ran long, is because we had to do a practice run. And it's not my first practice run. My first practice run was, I have to be careful flipping through here. My first practice run was this morning, and that's when I realized that I needed a lot more practice. So I did this one this morning while I was chatting with my mom, and I was like, I've completely forgotten how to make a water drop look like a water drop. And so I had to do a little more research, and then I had to come home and practice it, because I couldn't practice it at work. All I could do was read about it on my breaks. And so I came home, and this was the practice run, and then this was the finished product. I don't know if you can see that in the light. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Texas time. We can't forget that. Tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Texas time, we're going to sketch an American bullfrog. We have an American bullfrog is our random object. So we'll talk about the American bullfrog. We'll talk about how it is one of the most invasive species, because everybody was trying to farm frogs' legs in the 1800s and early 1900s. Everybody was trying to farm frogs' legs all around the world. And so this little North American bullfrog, which is about this big in reality, this little North American bullfrog, who has a scream that is louder than a chainsaw, higher decibel than a chainsaw. We'll talk about that, and maybe how I can use that as a farm exemption for my property taxes here in Texas. And many more fun bullfrog tracks tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. So if you're an early riser, come back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. Texas time, and we'll do this one. Set your notification bell, and you can watch the recording. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure and join Ivy tomorrow, Friday, from 1 to 5 Eastern and noon to 4 Central time, Texas time. She'll be coloring in her coloring book tomorrow. So and she'll be showing off some of her. She's got a book she's putting together too. I want everybody to go check her out tomorrow. And if you didn't already do it, go give a shout out to Create with Becca. That was so nice to Create with Becca, to send people this way to say hi to us. But thank you so much for joining me. I do look forward to this every week, and I enjoy arting with my besties every Thursday night and every morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. So be sure and tune in next week. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And then we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because when they see me dancing, I will know that the lag has caught up with the stream, and I'll know that I won't be cut off mid-sentence, because nobody likes being cut off mid-sentence. That's wrong. That's rude. Everybody hates it. It gives you a chance to say hello and goodbye to each other. It gives you a chance to click the clicky thingies this way if you're on the horizontal, or this way if you're on the vertical. That way you can watch another fantastic video just like this one. But again, the most important